Well, 14th of November is celebrated as the Children's Day in India. It just came to an end and we thought that it would be nice to show you a game by one of the brightest talents in the world, not just India but all across the world. He's the youngest IM in the world, Abhimanyu Mishra. He is from Indian origin but he lives in the US and represents America. But what is very interesting to see is what sort of a player is he? How does he play his games? Is he an aggressive player? Is he a positional player? Because definitely if someone achieves his IM title at the age of 10 years, 9 months and 3 days, he's going to make it big in the years to come. Abhimanyu beat Praggnanandhaa's record by 17 days and well, he's become one of the big stars in the world of chess. And so it would be nice to have a look at his game. Abhimanyu was white. He's playing against Katz Alexander. His opponent is 200 points rated above him and he chose the Perk defense. Abhimanyu went for the Austrian attack with these 3 pawns, so you can clearly sense he's an attacking player. Knight f3, and here black usually goes either castles or c5. In this case he went castles. e5, very committal. Knight d7 and bishop to c4. Now black usually what he tries to do in such positions is break down white's pawn center over here, and therefore the most natural move is c5 because you're trying to break this entire structure down. However, the right move is knight to b6, bishop b3 and knight c6. You want to play your knight to a5, eliminate this bishop and then break with f6 when this pin no longer exists. So just for example, after bishop e3, knight a5, queen e2, you take and play f6, and black seems to be doing pretty well here. Well, but what's wrong with c5, you may ask? I mean, this looks most natural, doesn't it? Well, Abhimanyu found the flaw in this move. He went e6, which was an excellent move. You don't really want to take this pawn because after knight g5, you are in big trouble. So knight b6 was played. After ef7, king h8. Comes the first question in this game to you: what should white play here? Well, if you thought about moving the bishop, well, that's fine, but you didn't think like the young Abhimanyu. He is fearless and also well prepared in the openings. He had prepared this move beforehand and he went h4. Well, congratulations if you thought about this move. Not at all easy. I mean, bishop e2 looks most natural, but after cd, knight d4, knight c6, it looks like black is doing completely okay. h4 launches a direct attack against the black king over here. Knight c4, and now you go h5. So you're down a piece, but now you're threatening h into g6, activating the rook. Then get your knight to g5 and move the queen to h5. That's how you attack. Well, bishop f5 was played by Abhimanyu's opponent here. There was another possibility like g5, but it doesn't look so great because after queen d3 you are threatening knight g5, queen d7 to come to f5, and then after queen takes c4, the position is sort of unclear, maybe slightly better for white. Bishop f5, hg, bishop g6, and now here's the next question in the position. As you could see from the arrows, black is planning to get his queen here from either c8 or d7. What do you do here as white? Well done if you found the move f5. This was a powerful move by Abhimanyu. He first sacrificed a piece, now pawns. Queen c8 now doesn't work because after knight into h7, bishop into h7 is possible, but okay, more accurate queen e6, and after king f1, bishop h7, queen h5, queen h6, and black is winning the game. So f5 was a brilliant move because after bishop f5, knight g5, now there is no way to get the queen to f5 square, and now after queen h5, this is all over. h6, and here you need to find a nice move. White to move, what would you play here? Well, d5, excellent move. The idea is to plonk the knight on e6 and then pick up the h6 pawn, knight e5, knight e6, and this is just better for white. Bishop into f7 was played by Alexander, but then after knight g5, queen is coming in, king g8, rook into h7. Well, if you played h6, then here this is already pretty dangerous. You can even take here, and there are also other possibilities in this position. But king g8, and after rook into h7, e6, threatening at some point the knight on g5. Rook takes g7 was played, and now queen to g4. So black took on f5, hoping that he can defend his king. Now it's your move here. What would you play here as white? Yes, you give the discovered check. It's actually a double check. After king f6, bishop g5, king e6, you had to spot the move d5, queen f5, and now you win the queen. And we reach a position after long castle where the material is sort of in black's favor. Black has two pieces and a rook for a queen, so that's 11 points against 9. But at the same time, white has an extra pawn here, and black pieces are sort of discoordinated for now, and so that gives white a clear advantage. Knight d7, d3, knight e5, and here first white should have started with a check. King c8 is met with queen e7, if king c7, knight b5, and knight into d6. This is winning for white. Well, after knight b5, a6 came in, and now if you give a check, king c8, you realize that queen e6, which was powerful back in that variation, doesn't really work now because the b5 square is controlled and a6 is a very strong move. So after knight g6, it's actually black who starts to win. Knight f5, bishop g6. I think rook g8 was more accurate. Bishop g6, knight e7, bishop h7, d6, king b6, rook e1. And now you want to take this knight. So knight c6 was played, which turned out to be a mistake. Instead, rook f2 was important. And the point being that after rook e5, you take on c2 and play now rook f8. This is just brilliant play. The bishop here, the rook, and the other guy will work in tandem to create a lot of threats against the white king. This is around equal. It's so very difficult to assess this during the game. Also, that you shouldn't be picking up this knight, this rook here, because after queen e5, rook f8, check and knight to e3, somehow white is clearly better here. You cannot really do the same thing over here. Let's say after rook f8, play knight d5, king a7, knight e3, because after rook into a2, there is no queen c5 check. Actually, you still have the knight on board, and this makes a huge difference. So this is an unclear position. Knight c6 was a blunder, and you have to find the move that wins for white here. Queen to g7, and the idea is to take the bishop on h7 or move the knight to d5 and take the guy on d7. Bishop takes c2 was a desperate attempt, and then after queen d7 it was over. A few more moves were played, but that was just out of formality. And now after king c8, queen a8, you lose the rook on f8, and Abhimanyu won this game. A very nice attacking victory for the youngster. And from this game, we can say that he's really an exciting prospect who likes to attack, who likes to push his pawns forward, and we are really excited to see his games in the future. Stay tuned. This is Sagar Shah signing off.